Good evening and welcome to the December 28th meeting of the Lowell License Commission. Secretary Pies, was the meeting posted?
It was.
Roll call, please.
Commission Chair Dakota.
Here.
Commissioner Howe.
Here.
Commissioner Krieger.
Here.
Commissioner Mercier.
Here.
Commissioner Tang.
Here.
5 present, no absent. 0th is the acceptance of the December 14th,
Move for approval by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Tang. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Number 1 on the agenda, please.
Ratification of an application by Merrimack Repertory Theater, Kate Dyson, for special one-day licenses to sell, dispense malt beverages and wines only for 7 additional performances of A Christmas Carol at Lowell Memorial Auditorium, Liberty Hall, 50 East Merrimack Street.
Motion on the floor by Commissioner Mercier to ratify, seconded by Commissioner Howe. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Next, please.
Application by Brush Art Gallery and Studios, James Diment, for special one-day licenses for certified galleries to sell, dispense wines only for 7 artist receptions at 256 Market Street.
Good evening. State your name for the record, sir.
Hi, Jim Diamond.
How are you, Jim?
Doing well, thanks.
Good. Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, I try to just make it once a year.
That's very good. Smart move. All right. So you have 7 events, right?
Yep.
Okay. Jim's been before us quite a few times. Any questions or comments for him?
Move approval.
Move for approval by Commissioner Howe, seconded by Commissioner Krieger. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Take care of yourself.
Application by Amanda Etinge for 2 special one-day licenses to sell, dispense wines and malt beverages only at the Hellenic Center, 41 Broadway Street, for the following: Saturday, December 30th, 2023, from 4 p.m. to 1 a.m. for the Moringa People Welfare Association. Saturday, January 20th, 2024, from 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. for a celebration of life. Amanda's joining us on Zoom.
Hi, Amanda. Amanda, did you mute yourself?
Oh, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy New Year.
Same to you.
You're one of my favorite applicants, Amanda, and I'm going to miss you.
Where you going?
On to bigger and better things. Well, some may say not.
More money.
More, yeah, right, that's it. Yeah. This will be my last meeting, but Captain Peasley,
No issues with them at all.
good for her, huh? Good for her. Amanda,
She looks so sad.
Amanda, you're going to get me one of those things I'm going to wear on my head from now on, too. All
Oh,
right?
God. John, I'm coming to see you.
Yeah, you are. All right, questions or comments, Commissioner
I have a
Krieger?
question,
Thank you.
Amanda. Who are the Moringa people? I'm showing my ignorance here. I'm showing my ignorance. Who are the Moringa people?
The Moringa people are a group of people from Africa. It's just like us, we call ourselves Cameroonians. And in Cameroon, we have another subgroup called like the Bamileke. So it's a tribe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.
So you're from Bamenda?
I'm from Bamenda.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
Move approval.
Move for approval by Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Howe. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Amanda, you be well and Happy New Year to you.
Same to you, John. See you soon.
All right, bye-bye now.
Violation hearing regarding allegations of misconduct charged against Boston Tonight LLC doing business as Trend, 15 and 19 to 25 Merrimack Street. Lawrence Kritikos, license manager, all alcoholic beverages restaurant licensee. Allegations of misconduct occurred on November 12th, 17th, and 18th regarding compliance with all laws and regulations.
Good evening, Councilor. How are you?
Good evening, Commissioners.
What's the thing? There you go. Beautiful.
Good evening. Attorney Amanda Flores on behalf of Boston Tonight LLC. I did just text my client, and he is inside the building, so he should be up in the next 30 seconds.
That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. What we'll do is, in the meantime, I'm going to have Captain Peasley read the
Absolutely.
complaints, so he can be a little
Thank
bit
you.
late. All right? So we have 3 different dates here, Captain, correct?
That's correct,
All right.
Commissioner. Okay.
You want
so
some water, or are you good?
I got, We're going to miss you. Enter that into
No,
the
you're
record.
not.
The Lowell Police Department respectfully requests that enforcement action be taken against Boston Tonight LLC, which does business as Trend Nightclub located at 1925 Merrimack Street, for the violations that took place in the early morning hours of November 12th, 2023, as well as November 17th during the late evening hours and early morning hours of November 18th. Specifically, violation of cover charge 2.16, no licensee shall require any person to pay a minimum cover or cover charge unless a sign is conspicuously posted at every entrance to the area where the cover charge is required. Said cover charge can only be charged upon a written or printed receipt, permanently recorded and numbered and presented to each customer or group of customers. Additionally, they violated compliance with all laws and regulations, which states licensees shall maintain their premises and operations of full compliance with all local and state and federal laws, including but not limited to fire codes, building codes, city bylaws, and the alcohol registry regulations. In the early morning hours of November 12, 2023, at approximately 1:07, officers assigned to the Lowell Police Vice Narcotics Unit conducted a compliance check of Trend located at 1925 Merrimack Street, which is a licensed permit as previously stated. Vice Sergeant David Lally had the opportunity to speak with the doorman bouncer who was positioned at the front door. The employee identified himself as Scott Billa. During this conversation, Sergeant Lally found that the bar was charging a cover charge to enter the bar. Sergeant Lally, as well as Detective Ray Jean Jr., did not observe any posted signs at the entrance doors informing patrons of this cover charge. Additionally, both officers noted that the bar was not handing out the required printed receipts to the patrons who paid the cover charge. Again, this cover charge matter is a violation of Section 2.16. It should be noted that approximately 4 weeks prior, on October 13, 2023, which the Commission heard 2 weeks ago during a similar compliance check, Vice Lieutenant Steve Coyle observed the exact same cover charge violation. Lieutenant Coyle at that time brought this violation to the attention of bar manager Evan Kritakos, and he was instructed to take corrective action. It is apparent based upon this new violation that the Trend management has completely disregarded the rules and regulations established in the alcohol beverage regulation for licensees issued by this Lowell License Commission. Additionally, on the late evening hours of November 17th and the early morning of November 18th, at approximately 12:15, officers again assigned to the Vice Narcotics Unit conducted yet another compliance check of Trend. While conducting the walkthrough of the premises, Detective Thomas Feehan observed that the establishment had set up 2 tables in front of the main bar area with red Solo cups placed in a triangle formation. He immediately recognized this game to be a popular drinking game called beer pong, and it was something that he remembered that the Vice Unit had previously addressed with the management of Trend. Detective Feehan then brought this matter to the attention of a female on the premises named Rachel Volas, who stated that she was the lead bartender for the evening. Detective Feehan advised her that the encouraging or permitting of any game or contest that involves alcohol beverages is a violation of Mass CMR 204. Section 4.03, and therefore is a violation of the Section 1.06, which I referenced above. Again, approximately 4 weeks prior, it was brought to the attention of the Commission 2 weeks ago during a similar compliance check. Lieutenant Steve Coyle observed the exact same gaming violations. Again, at that time, Lieutenant Coyle brought this violation to the attention of the bar manager, Evan Kritakos, and he was instructed again to take corrective action. This was the second weekend in a row that the Vice Unit compliance check has uncovered previously documented violations. It is again apparent, based upon this new violation, that Trend management has completely disregarded the rules and regulations established in the alcohol beverage regulations for licensees issued by the Lowell License Commission. And I think it's important to point out at the last meeting, City Solicitor Wood referenced a case from the Alcohol Beverage Control Commission dated January 27, 2017, that recognizes that red Solo cups filled with water set up in a triangle formation is in fact consistent with the game beer pong, and they found that bar at that time to be in violation of the gaming rules regulations. For that reason, Superintendent Hudon requests to bring this matter forward to you.
Thank you, Captain. Counselor? Well, thank God there was no melee, but it sounds like Groundhog Day here a little bit.
I'm sorry?
It sounds like Groundhog Day a little bit.
I know.
But the floor is yours. Go right ahead.
So, just for the record, and I know obviously these issues were discussed at the last hearing, with respect to the cover charge allegation, no posted signs, that has absolutely been corrected. There are posted signs. I and my client can't speak to what specifically happened that day, but he had, as soon as he had discussed with the officers the first time, printed posted signs, and also created a receipt system. So we don't know what happened that specific instance, but it will not happen again. Also, the superintendent's report says that no receipts were observed by the police officers, but the narrative does not say that. It actually only references the cover charge posting. So we are a little confused because we certainly were giving receipts out that day.
Counselor, did your client tell, I'm sorry, is it Detective Lally? I don't want, Sergeant, that the sign was up and he didn't know where it went that night? Or what was the, maybe you can help us, Sergeant. I don't know what your conversation was with Mr. Katakis.
Do you want?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So he said, you asked him where the sign was, and what was his answer?
The first night back on October, I believe it was 14th, we did a
Yep.
compliance check, no sign, explained that it was a violation.
Sure.
Came back the 12th, there was no sign, signage are up, but on the 18th, there were signs up.
On the 18th, okay.
Yes, but the 12th, there was.
All right, thanks for clarifying that. Thank you. Thanks, Counselor.
Thank you. And then with respect to the water pong issue, obviously at last hearing, the License Commission made a recommendation, and that is being followed by my client, and he is no longer having water pong as an available option at the bar.
Okay. I'll open up the floor to any of the commissioners for questions. Commissioner Krieger.
Yeah, the thing that concerns me is an apparent inability to learn. I mean, I've made mistakes in my life. I've made serious mistakes. I almost flew into the side of a valley one day, ducking under the clouds. Yeah, I'm never doing that again. But is your client able to learn?
So Commissioner Krieger, I mean, that is a very good point, and I think if we were having this conversation for an incident that occurred following the last hearing, it would, certainly I would take my client, would have to answer to that point. Unfortunately, with respect to the water pong specifically, he believed he was in compliance with the laws, and the cases that we had found with respect to segregating alcohol. If you note in the police narrative as well on this instance, there's no observation that the people actually participating in the water pong were holding beer bottles or consuming alcohol while they were playing, just the observation of the cups on the table. And to our, position that was the critical difference between being in compliance with what the ABCC regulations are permit versus not. But we absolutely agree, if the License Commission in Lowell does not believe any sort of water pong should be played, it will not be played.
Yeah, I was more concerned about the cover charge, not having the signs. It just
Well, and I
seemed
think,
careless. It seemed to lack insight.
so I think that the sergeant's point that my client has since been ensuring that the signs are posted when the cover charge is collected. So he has learned his lesson.
Captain Peasley, since November 18th, have we gone into trend at all?
No, we haven't.
Okay.
We plan on doing that this winter.
I don't know how long it takes to park outside, but he's still
I know.
not here, so Commissioner.
I'm here.
Mercia? Commissioner
Oh,
Haynes?
I'm sorry.
Oh, he's
Is
on
he-
Zoom.
I did
When
let
I
him
said I
know.
was here, Amanda, sorry, when I said I was here, I meant Zoom.
I'm sorry. I did let
No,
him
no
know to
worries.
join via Zoom because you were moving pretty quickly.
Yeah.
He had let me know he was going to be late, so he must have joined.
Mr., is it Kritikos?
Criticos, yes.
Kritikos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, long Greek name.
I'm going to ask you one question. That's all I'm going to ask, okay?
Sure.
Do you know the rules and regulations of the Lowell License Commission?
Yes. There was a
So-
mishap when the officer came in the other night. I believe he had probably come in before we had even started charging, and that's most likely what he's referring to. But yeah, when it comes to the laws, Lawrence didn't do the greatest with transitioning to me, but over the time frame of running the business over the last 2 years, I have, whether I wanted to in the beginning or not, I learned as much as possible, yes.
All right. My only reason for asking that is, this is my last meeting with the commission, and I wanted to be on the record that if you do ever come in front of this board again, I've asked that question, that you know the rules and the regulations of the Lowell Ice Commission. So
Yep.
I appreciate you giving me an answer. And anybody else have any questions? Commissioner Howe?
No questions?
What is the wish of the body?
Public hearing? No.
No, it's not a public hearing. Commissioner Krieger?
Well, there's a day in abeyance, which I think the abeyance should be revoked. But in addition,
Hold on one second. We cannot do that for the fact that it occurred prior to the next event. So that 6 months later, they would then, it doesn't apply at that point,
okay,
all right?
well,
Now, if it happened
Yeah.
today, Commissioner Krieger, then we could pull back the abeyance.
okay.
But not as of now, because of when it occurred, we couldn't do that.
I'm concerned about the inability to learn. And I think that we need to drive that point home with a several-day suspension over a weekend, Friday, Saturday.
Commissioner Krieger has made a motion to suspend for 2 days. Does Commissioner Krieger have a second? With all due respect to my colleague, I would ask him if he wouldn't mind if it'd be 1 day rather than 2 days.
On the weekend, yeah, 1 day's fine.
Would you second that? Well, yeah, that's actually your motion didn't get a second, so you made another motion. I'll second the motion.
Discussion on the motion?
Yes, discussion on the motion. I apologize. Go right ahead.
So 2 weeks ago, you were here before us, again, not relevant to what's going on tonight. The violations here, it is concerning that they happened 4 weeks after the police were there for compliance checks, but they were also looking for minors drinking alcohol, and they did not find any. There also was no melee where police officers were injured. So I'm going to vote no on suspension to serve. I would vote yes for suspension to be held in abeyance. That's my speech on the motion.
Okay. We would need a roll call on the motion that was seconded. John? So
The motion for 1 day.
will be 1 day.
Okay, roll call vote. Commissioner Dakota.
Yes.
Commissioner Mercier.
Yes.
Commissioner Howe.
No.
Commissioner Krieger.
Yes.
Commissioner Tang.
Yes.
That's 4 in favor, 1 opposed. Motion carries.
Commissioner Krieger, you were the maker of the motion. The date is December 28th. When were the 2 dates that the applicant was going to serve the 2-day suspension?
5th and 6th?
The 5th and 6th?
I'd kick it down 2 weeks.
Let's do January 19th on a Friday. Is everybody all right with that date? Commissioner Mercier, Commissioner Tang,
I'm good with that.
Commissioner Krieger.
Good.
Counselor, you've done a very good job. I will say that to you. You've been very professional here, and you've done your client well.
Well, you'll be missed, certainly. And good luck
Oh,
to you.
come on now. You can't wait to get me off of here, you know? All right, thank you. Mr. Katikis, you're all set. I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it so much. And I just need to say this. Like, I am more than willing to learn as much as possible to kind of go back to the thing that the gentleman said. I just can't.
You're on the clock.
No, you're good. You're good. Sorry.
You're all set. Have a
Thank
good
you, and
night.
Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank
You
you,
as
Thank you
counsel.
so much. guys.
I do not see anything else on the agenda, but I see
Point
two
of-
people in the back. Just waiting for what? John. Oh, just waiting for John. Oh, okay, all right.
Point of personal privilege here, since you're
Yes.
leaving, and I think we've served the longest together. I want to thank you for the personal experience and the personal insight and wisdom that you've brought to the commission as chairman.
I appreciate that.
And I now yield to Commissioner Howe.
Thank you. First of all, congratulations on being elected to the city council.
Thank you.
It's the council's gain and our loss. But when I think of your tenure here, I think of one word, and the word is grateful. I'm sure we're all grateful for the wealth of knowledge that you've given us, whether it's public hearings, ABCC, Robert's Rules.
She had to throw that in, Dave.
We're also very grateful for the speed and agility that you orchestrate these meetings. You know time is money and time is valuable to people, and we can only hope that your skill in doing that will translate over to the city council. And finally, I'm grateful for the respect and the kindness that you show every single person that comes before this commission. You will be missed, and we wish you the best.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
And
that.
Cliff, this is Cliff's idea. It's a little parting gift.
Is this with the ABCC or?
It's from everybody.
I'll open it up after.
No, you gotta.
I go open
Yeah,
it now?
open it now.
Okay.
Yeah, this is from all four of us.
Yes.
You've never had to use this instrument.
Oh, that's
but,
touching.
it's
Thank you.
symbolic.
Thank you very much. That is awesome. That's perfect. That's actually perfect. I appreciate it. You know what? It has been an honor and a privilege to be been on this board for 10 years. It kind of flew by. As Cliff said, I think me and Cliff are 4 months apart. Cliff came on before us, and that's when we were a 3-panel commission.
Right.
And Chairperson Brian Occasion led the group, and then we decided to go to five individuals. And I think the five was Martha, Joe Donahue, and my dear friend Terry McCarthy. I haven't had a lot of time to spend with Commissioner Mercier or Commissioner Tang, but both of you, I appreciate your time, your effort, and what you're giving to the city. It's been fun. I've always come here and try to bring a little levity, but knowing the rules and the regulations and trying to give the people, the breaks when they deserved it. I think owning a bar in my past 25 years, I think gave me a little bit of insight on how things should be done and how things should not be done. I'd like to thank the Lowell Police Department, especially you, Dave. Captain Beasley, you've been professional and always do your homework, and I really appreciate that. And pass that on to the superintendent for me, if you don't mind. I think that's just about it. I want to thank everybody again, and I'll see everybody on the city council. Thank you.
Yeah, you'll be in trouble there.
Yeah, somebody might use this on me.
You could use it to make a
Motion by
motion.
Commissioner Krieger, seconded by Commissioner Howe to adjourn. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, have a good night.